Hi, this is part 2 of a 4-part series. Each one has 10 Animal Crossing New Horizon tips and tricks, which I think are good for anyone from beginner to expert. So let's get started. The first tip has to do with the Able sisters. Mabel is super friendly and chatty and welcomes you and loves to help you. But Sable sits at her sewing machine and doesn't want to say anything to you, doesn't want you to say anything to Sable. But don't give up. I have a friend who respected Sable's boundaries and never talked to Sable again. But if you talk to Sable each time you come into the tailor shop, Sable will slowly start to warm up to you, and after long enough, that will give you access to different patterns and the ability to customize different furniture with those patterns and even patterns that you have created. So I've heard it put that Sable is the only special character that you befriend. And that really is true. The other special characters are your friends to begin with, but Sable you have to friend, but it is definitely worth it. She will be a chatty friend to you after that. My next tip is it is very convenient to have a item that you can change your clothes in at the city center or especially around the Able Tailor shop. Even coolers or fridges you can change your clothes in, but there is a changing room that I have placed next to my Able Tailors that works perfectly and fits in with the decor. If it starts raining while you're out and about and you'd like to change into rain gear, or the reverse, it stops raining, or if LaBelle gives you a challenge and you'd like to change into the outfit that fits the challenge right then and there. I've had it come in handy quite often, and it's something that I recommend. Did you know that you have the option to quick scroll? Instead of using the raised button on the left controller that goes down one at a time, use the raised button on the right controller and you can scroll up and down a page at a time, which is really handy if you're scrolling through long lists of things. Give that right raised button a try and speed up your scrolling. Scrolling isn't the only thing you can speed up. You can also speed up crafting. Instead of clicking the button once to craft, double click that, click it a second time, and your crafting will speed up and you'll fly through it. This is really great when you're trying to craft multiple items. For example, to get money at the beginning of the game especially, it can be really good to make and sell the special items at Nookstop. So if you're crafting a whole bunch, this can be a huge time saver. But even if I'm not crafting a lot, I always speed up the crafting anyway. So give it a try. Click that button again and speed up your crafting. Rocks are auto-generated. You don't get to choose where they are at the beginning of the game, or do you? In fact, you can choose to move a rock. What you do is eat a fruit and then bang on the rock like you would to get coins or crafting materials out of it, and it's going to smash the rock. Make sure you've gotten the goodies out of the rock, because not only does it smash it, it takes about 24 hours for that rock to show up in a brand new location. Also not of your choosing, but you can do this as many times as you want to until you get the rocks where you want them to be. Not only can you move rocks by eating a fruit, You can also move trees as well. If you eat a fruit and then dig up the tree, you can replant it wherever you want to. But there's a lot more to say about trees. Each day, trees will produce different things. 15 trees will each drop 100 bells. So you can get 1,500 bells each day from 15 different trees dropping 100 bells each. 5 trees will have a wasp nest, which produces both a wasp nest and also a wasp, which sell for a good amount of money. And 2 trees will drop a random furniture. And sometimes it's kind of funny thinking of a big furniture falling out of a tree if it's like a refrigerator or something. But the trees are magical in Animal Crossing. What that means is, other than fruit trees, if you had 22 and only 22 trees on your island, each one would produce something. 15 of them would drop coins, 5 would have wasps, and 2 would have furniture. If you want to simplify your process for the day, have 22 non-fruit trees on your island, shake each of them, and get 100 bells from 15 trees, 5 wasps and wasp nests, and 2 pieces of furniture every time you play. Now, for my next tip, if your reaction to hearing that last tip was, I am not messing around with 5 wasps every day, no thank you very much, that would be torture for me. I do have some tips for dealing with wasps. Make sure when you're shaking trees to have the net in your hand and handy at all times when you're shaking trees. Run a little distance away and then just swing for the wasp and wish for the best. You will still get stung once in a while, but for the most part, this is going to be effective for you. And if you do get stung, you can use wasp nest and grass and make medicine and clear away that sting from your eye. You can also make medicine that way to cure your villagers, which they really appreciate. It really helps your friendship level. And you can also buy medicine in the store as well. So make sure you have your net handy, but if all else fails, you can either make medicine or buy medicine to clear away that sting. Now for something more carefree than swinging at wasps. Did you know that you can skid on as you're running around your island? What you do is you run in one direction and you quickly turn the controller in the opposite direction from where you're running, and you'll skid. It's just a really cute animation and a really cute detail that the creators decided to add, and I really like skidding. It's fun. My next tip has to do with the Sanrio villagers. They only come on amiibo cards that you have to buy or be gifted, I guess, if you're lucky. But each villager on their amiibo card comes with all sorts of goodies that shows up in the special items in your ATM. And the Mario items are in the same location in the ATM as well. But it can take a while to go through the process of having each Sanrio villager come to the campground 3 times and give them the gift 3 times, and then have them in order to get the items that come along with each character. Well, there's a quicker way to get the items. where you don't have to wait until that villager is on your island. You can scan the card like you scan any amiibo card, also at the ATM. And then once you've scanned the card and it'll say this card belongs to whichever villager, do you want them to come to the campsite? Say no. And you can do that for each of the Sanrio villager amiibo cards. And just going through that process alone is enough to add their special Sanrio items to your ATM for you to be able to buy. You can just scan the amiibo card and say, no, I don't want them to come to the campsite. And those items will still be added to your ATM. The robot hero is super cool. You can have the robot hero and the Godzilla monster on your island together and have your island looking like something straight out of an anime. But the robot hero is one of the most difficult things to make because you need 30 rusted parts to make the robot hero, and the only way to get those is to help Gulliver when he washes up on your beach. And the next day in the freebies bin in your city hall, town hall, there will be a rusted part. And you have to save those up. And once you have 30 of those, you can make the robot hero. So when you get those rusted parts from Gulliver, don't just toss those away or sell those. Save them if you're interested in making the robot hero. Next up, Celeste will give you an astrological recipe every single month if you ask Celeste for a recipe when she is on your island. And when she gives you that, she'll mention something about how there's lots of stories and she knows the stories. But have you ever actually tried, after you've made that astrological item, taking it and then giving it to Celeste and hearing those stories? If not, totally do it, because the stories are awesome and it's definitely worth doing. So fun, highly recommended. And don't worry, she doesn't keep the item. Once she's told you the story, you get it back into your inventory. I have a bonus tip, which is just to take the time to enjoy all the really awesome and cute and fun details in the game, like the skidding I mentioned earlier, the little feetsies on your villagers. Celeste leaves footprints in the sand, all the villagers do, and just the way the schoolfish clump together and then swim apart in your aquarium once you've gathered those fish, and the sound of different shoes and even bare feet on the pavement. There are so many awesome details, and just take the time to enjoy them. All right, those were 10 plus a bonus tips and tricks for Animal Crossing New Horizon. I hope you enjoyed. I would love it if you would give me a like, leave me a comment if there's something you wanted to say, even just say hi. Hi. And stick around for the next one. You can subscribe so you don't miss it. There are 2 more of these coming. See you in the next one. Bye.